occurred to me is, and your earlier comment about, joking comment about the problem with students don't read and so on and so forth. Is there a danger of overstating the significance of these books in the production of Gramscian common sense? That the history that we absorb and gives us our identity does not come from textbooks. So I'm putting this as a statement and as an assertion rather than that it's a question. You know, it doesn't come from textbooks. Children don't learn, or adults don't learn from textbooks. Indeed, they learn from films, and their identity formation doesn't come from passing these exams saying, yeah, I've got this authorised account of my ethno-nationalist history or whatever. So I was wondering whether first then that without being critical about the quality of the research and so on education, I appreciate that fully, and the arguments that you put forward. Maybe school textbooks aren't actually that important, significant, yeah. I should say. And secondly, how we would situate education, given the questions about, you know, is there different textbooks that we could write, imagine, situating education more broadly in the making of common sense, because I'll just leave it like that. No, I'm not. I'm going to add another. Because your story, your explanation, which I follow very much, is the removal of ambivalence and nuance in the old stories. This is who we are. We've always been here, and we're always going to be here. Yes. And you know, and the removal of ambivalence and nuance. And it's that removal of ambivalence and nuance that is the making of a populist common sense, where we're offered increasingly in politics binary choices. You're either this or you're that. You either support this or you support that. You either, and sorry about this, you either are a Remainer or you're a Brexiter. And part of the politics of populism is about, seems to me to be about the removal of ambivalence and a removal of nuance. So I'm just putting that as a kind of question and as a proposition to promote.
I actually agree with you that it's very possible that textbooks in and of themselves don't tell us a full story, and that's why I said I left out of my story the teachers and the students. So basically I'm not sure how important they are. I don't think at the same time they can be totally ignored. I think they say something, and maybe the way history is structured is actually through commemorations. You know, we remember this commemoration, the other, and we make this story because, you know, these are the important commemorations that stick in our minds. And of course, history or education is much more than meaning. Maybe it's more about emotions. In other words, maybe it's more about the kinds of emotions that education creates, or commemorations create, or books and images create, that is more important, you know, rather than necessarily the more intellectual aspect of it. And I have some colleagues who are doing, I think, really good work on emotions in education. So on the first point, I agree with you that books definitely don't tell us the big story. On the second point about populism, again, you're quite right. I mean, this is why blockbusters are these kinds of films. Okay, and they become global blockbusters. You know, the films which are very simple and which don't have any ambivalence, they don't require any effort, etc. Even though I'm a bit generalizing, there are also some great films which have had very large appeal. So I think we're on the same lines about populism, maybe films which are so popular which lack any ambivalence. And this is why these kinds of leaders are so appealing. And this is why I ended up my talk with the issue of what makes some stories more appealing. You know, these very simple stories. We were victims, you know, and they're always the same. You know, we were victims, the upper class, you know, the rich people, the migrants, whatever. The Chinese, you know, have been, you know, making us poorer and suffer. So the problem with these stories is that they are very appealing. Okay, but this takes us now into very complex questions about, I don't know, about why as a society, you know, we work in this way, which may be for another lecture or possibly for another speaker.
Are there any other questions, comments before we... Yeah.
One more question. I remember once when I was in university, I participated in a bi-communal youth panel with Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots. And also in that panel, it frequently come up that Turkish Cypriots were more willing towards reunification than were Greek Cypriots. And there was a professor from sociology, but I can't remember who he was, a Greek Cypriot, and I asked him the question why he believed that Greek Cypriots were less willing towards reunification than Turkish Cypriots. And he said, his answer to me was, you won the war. And it comes back to the story which you had in your presentation, where the Greek Cypriot history ends with the tragic ending, and the Turkish Cypriot ending ends with the happy ending. And I was wondering if you comment on maybe the ending of the stories. Do you believe maybe they are shaping both communities' perspectives about the issue in Cyprus today? That because the Greek Cypriot narrative ends on a negative note, but the Turkish Cypriot narrative ends on a very positive note, maybe, or I was wondering, in your opinion, could that have any effect on today's perspectives of both communities' youth?
Okay, I'll say something about the end, which is possibly unrelated to what you're asking, but hopefully it's going to be interesting. Possibly it's related. And this is about the end of films in, you know, Scandinavian films are notorious for being very dark and not having pleasant ends. At the same time, you know, Denmark is usually ranked as #1 in terms of happiness rankings, whatever it means. And it makes you wonder whether, you know, the state, whereas the States comes actually very low in terms of these kinds of rankings. It makes you also wonder if, in the end of the day, maybe if people are so used to seeing all these positive ends and their life doesn't have this, you know, such positive closures, you know, they feel terribly sad. Whereas if they're used to seeing these sad endings, you know, in mass culture or something, then okay, life is not so bad, you know, my life isn't necessarily so bad. But coming more directly to your point, I think that the difference, and again, it's something that has not been measured, it's simply my view, I don't have any hard evidence to support it. I think that the reason Greek Cypriots are so negative is more than anything because they are richer, and becoming richer makes you more apolitical. You're not interested in politics so much, and this is a common trend, I think, in all Western societies, and that the richer society becomes, the less people become interested in politics. So I think part of it is simply becoming richer. The other part is that, you know, they live in this different world, very much close to the EU, Europe. You know, their dreams to go to Paris, live in London, Brussels. Coming here, when they cross, you know, they have no links to this place. They see something that to them doesn't look very flashy, let's say. Okay, and again I'm generalizing and I'm being very unfair. I know many people who are not like that. So more than anything, I think that they are becoming more apolitical because Greek Cypriot society is richer, but also because I think that they have been hit with this discourse of the Cyprus problem on their head for all their lives. So I would imagine they must get really tired of it. And because now they have other opportunities, you know, we grew up only with Cyprus as our horizon of possibility, but they have other opportunities.